points about circadian biology and viewing sunlight early and late in the day in order to set your circadian rhythm. First of all, I can't go any further without mentioning that in the first hour after waking, bright light, especially from sunlight, spikes your cortisol in a way that lowers your evening cortisol as well. So that translates to improved daytime mood focus and alertness and improved nighttime sleep, as well as ease in transitioning to sleep, because when your cortisol drops in the late evening, your melatonin naturally rises. There's an indirect but important interplay there. The other important point to make is that while you won't see the long wavelength, short wavelength contrast on overcast days, the long wavelength, aka yellow, orange, pink, and red light, which you can beautifully see here as yellow and orange, and short wavelength, aka blue and green light, that contrast is the signal that the retinal neurons that set your circadian clock respond best to. So many people think it's just about bright light, but it's not. It's about the contrast between long wavelength and short wavelength light. That's the primordial signal. That's what the intrinsically photosensitive melanopsin retinal ganglion cells respond best to. And that's probably the origin of color coding in the eye and brain. And color perception probably came later, because all of that operates below conscious detection. What does that mean? Well, it means that if it's clear out, definitely view that contrast in the morning and at night. This is why sunrises and sunsets are particularly good at setting your circadian clock. Sunrise being more important, but if you can see a sunset, also fantastic. And then a final point, at least for now, is that I regret ever calling it sunlight. It obviously comes from the sun, but I should have called it daylight all these years. Get daylight in your eyes in the morning and in the afternoon, because as soon as the cloud cover moves in and people can't see the sun as an object, they start with, well, there's no sun here, etc. But just compare how bright it is at, say, 10 a.m. in the middle of winter on an overcast day versus 10 p.m. in winter or even summer that same evening. So it's about daylight, folks. And if you can see it when it's clear out, great. And if you can't, do it anyway. This contrast, which you can see across the water, but there's also the contrast with the sky, long wavelength, short wavelength, red, orange to blue contrast. That's the good stuff. See it when you can. Sunglasses off, brimmed hats off. Look in the direction of the sun. Blink as needed to protect your eyes. And as always, thank you for your interest in science.